swear that's greatness. You look into my eyes, you can see what I see. If you can say the world won't be the same without me, then we call that greatness. And that's a blessing. But wait a second. Look, while we on the subject, let me ask a question.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Uzzi Sports Show. I'm Jared Valluzzi, and man, what a season it was for the NYCHSFL. And of course, it was in the spring, and it was shortened, but let me tell you something, in 2021, it was still one of the most special seasons I have seen in the last 4 years covering the league. And yeah, there were, no championships. The league was split as the city teams had to play a little bit later. But the energy and intensity these players brought, because they knew their season could end literally the next day. So these players, they really brought everything they had onto the field every single game. It was a lot of fun to watch, and it brought a lot of fun moments. Let's get into my top 10 moments from the 2021 season in the NYCHSFL. We'll start at number 10. And Jaden Sinclair, the defensive back from Holy Trinity, more like the do-it-all player for the Titans, and his game against Canisius Catholic was sensational. He went against number 1 wide receiver, Luis Cordillo, and he shut him down. He also did it on return duties as well. He returned a kick for a touchdown. He also returned a punt for a touchdown. The athleticism number 8 showed was amazing. Sinclair had a terrific game, and he won Player of the Week honors, of course, that game, and he really had a great season for Holy Trinity. And now we'll take a look at my number 9 moment. And Iona Prep and Archbishop Stepinac, they have one of the best rivalries in the whole league, and when these two teams got together, this year is a little bit different. A lot of people expected Iona Prep to dominate, but when these two teams face off, you throw the records out the window. The intensity is just different. And this Stepinac defense, including Alex Garbowski, was just so fun to watch. Garbowski dominated, and this Stepinac defense made a ton of plays this game. Definitely had some great moments, and Jarrell Washington, rushing for over 200 yards, really highlighted this one. Iona Prep escaped with a close win. Lots of fun moments in that one. And now we'll take a look at number 8. It was week 1. It was Stepinac at St. Anthony's. These two teams have a lot of history against each other, and when they faced off, St. Anthony's and Stepinac, both really young teams. St. Anthony's with a sophomore quarterback, Stepinac with a freshman quarterback, and the Crusaders, they got out to an early lead, but it was St. Anthony's who came back. It was Dante Torres leading a huge comeback. Down by 6, Torres drove down the field, making multiple throws that were just sensational, finding Jaden Jenkins there on that 4th and 10. Then Frank the Tank Ruda at running back got down to the 1-yard line. The next thing you know, it was Torres to Ruda for the game-tying touchdown. Then Griffin Goldstein followed with the PAT. And then Stepinac, they had one last chance to go down the field and score, but Mikey Leo with an unbelievable interception to end the game. St. Anthony's with a terrific comeback win over the Crusaders in a really exciting game. And now we'll take a look at my number 7 moment. And, Moore Catholic and St. Peter's, 2 Staten Island teams, 2 really talented programs. St. Peter's, they had some great experience this year. Moore Catholic, a little bit on the younger side, but watching John Mikowski throw the football was something really fun to watch. Him and Nick Jordan, 2 sophomores, had a day. It was Mikowski finding Jordan for 2 TDs, and a really long one there as you see Jordan's athleticism. Moore Catholic on that red turf got the big victory over St. Peter's, and a really fun game to watch. And now we'll take a look at my number 6 moment. And number 6 for 6 touchdowns for Thomas Sluka. As the quarterback for Kellenberg, he really had a day against Canisius Catholic. Watching him rush for over 300 yards and 6 TDs, such a special game. The offensive line for Kellenberg absolutely balled out. And Sluka, he did his thing. He followed his blocks. He broke tackles. And man, did number 10 find the end zone that game. Now going to my number 5 moment. As Msgr Farrell, they had a really talented team this year, but one player that really stood out, Messiah Birch, the sophomore running back. And he might have been the fastest player I saw this year in the league. And his highlight reel runs is just a moment in itself. Against St. Peter's, the rivalry game against the Eagles that so many people look forward to, Birch showed out. Farrell was down 14-0. What do? You call on the super sophomore, Msgr Birch, because he can make people miss, and he is electrifying. And he did exactly that against St. Peter's. He got Farrell back in the game, and then Msgr Farrell, they did their thing. They got the win over St. Peter's. Truly a special performance by Birch and that whole Lions team that game. And now my number 4 moment. Cardinal Hayes, they were the top team in New York City coming into the season. And, week 1, they play against Farrell, and Hayes set the tone. It was really fun to watch that Cardinal Hayes defense absolutely ball out. Elijah Fuentes, there was so much hype around him, the Syracuse commit. And watching Fuentes in action, getting multiple sacks against Farrell, truly special. And then Henry Bellin, one of the most amazing plays I saw was in that week 1 City game, spinning and finding the end zone for Cardinal Hayes against Msgr Farrell. The Hayes domination really set the tone against Farrell, and it followed the rest of the season. And now going on to number 3. And when Stepanak played against Chaminade, it featured 2 of the best running backs in the league. You got Jaden Jenkins, the kid going to West Point, absolutely phenomenal. And then you got Chaminade's do-it-all guy, Mario Fischetti. He's their everything. So people saw Fischetti and Jenkins. It's going to be special. And that's exactly what it was. Jenkins, he set the tone right away with a long rushing touchdown. And Chaminade, they responded. Mario Fischetti, he did his thing. Both ran over 200 yards. They both showed why they're 2 of the most talented guys in the league. And it was just so exciting watching them make people miss. Watching them just do their thing and finding the end zone, definitely a lot of fun. Now my number 2 moment. And when we talk about rivalries, I already talked about Farrell and St. Peter's. I already talked about Iona Prep and Stepanak. Now it's time to talk about St. Anthony's and Chaminade. Definitely the top rivalry in Long Island high school sports. They finally returned back to the gridiron after not facing off in 2019 and 2020, obviously. So it was in Gold Star Stadium, and Chaminade pulled off the stunner against St. Anthony's in overtime, 19-13. Chaminade, they dominated the first half. They're up 13-0. They showed why they have maybe the best run defense on Long Island up there with St. Anthony's, as they slowed down the St. Anthony's run game. Before the Friars, they made the change. They put Connor McCreary in at quarterback, and boy, McCreary led a phenomenal comeback, finding Kenyon Miles for a couple throws. Also, senior Dominic DePalma balled out. St. Anthony's, they came back to tie it at 13 before Mario Fischetti found the end zone in overtime. Chaminade over St. Anthony's. But that was just part 1, ladies and gentlemen. That was just part 1. As now they got to play in round 2 at Cy Donnelly Field in St. Anthony's. Friday Night Lights. This is exactly what the seniors for the Friars wanted. Another opportunity to get revenge on Chaminade in their final game. And St. Anthony's, they got that chance, but it didn't start out so good. As, the Friars, they scored a couple touchdowns in that first half, but the Chaminade offense was buzzing. Michael Miller, 2 long touchdown catches in that first half. Mario Fischetti also found the end zone. Chaminade was up 21-14, but in the second half, that St. Anthony's defense was locked down. Andrew Bardak dominated. Bardak and Kieran McKenna at linebacker made a ton of tackles, slowing down the Chaminade run game. The St. Anthony's pass defense with Ian Strong and Dante Antoine was locked down in the second half, and they forced a safety. They were down 21-16, and senior quarterback Connor McCreary, Friday Night McCreary, he played on Friday night twice in his career, and he didn't lose. He comes in with a huge comeback drive, and the Friars go up 22-21 behind his rushing touchdown. St. Anthony's would hang on for the win after this Ian Strong pass breakup. St. Anthony's with a sensational win over the Flyers. And now on to my number 1 moment. And when we talk about the New York Catholic High School Football League in 2021, immediately Iona Prep comes to mind, as they absolutely dominated just about every single team on their schedule. A lot of teams, they just couldn't compete with them. And Iona Prep, they outscored opponents like crazy. But then next thing you know, they schedule a game with Canisius late in the year. And Canisius, defending state champions and the best team in Western New York. They have almost the same amount of college commits as Iona Prep does. And when I put on Twitter, Iona Prep's the best team in New York, nobody could hang with them, a lot of people replied to me and said, wait till they play Canisius, wait till they play Canisius. And then the New York State Game of the Year finally comes around at Iona Prep High School. It's Iona Prep, and it's Canisius. And Darius Wilson, he set the tone right away with a long touchdown run. Jack Anderson, that Iona Prep defense, did the same exact thing, setting the tone, forcing a turnover, and it was all Gales. watching this Iona Prep team dominate the number 2 ranked team in New York was something special for the entire NYCHSFL community. To just see a team thrive like that was really something awesome. And Iona Prep, this 2021 group that they had was one of the most special senior classes that I've seen come through this league. The Gales, Coach Spags over there, he did a phenomenal job. Iona Prep really deserves a ton of credit for that amazing season they had. And ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 season for the New York Catholic High School Football League was amazing. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great memories, and that'll do it for my top 10 moments. I hope you guys had a fun time watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. Everybody, I'm Jared Valluzzi. Thanks for watching.